From 4 News Now, with live updates throughout the day, breaking news as it happens, and weather every 10 minutes. This is KXLY Plus.
Good afternoon. For 4 News Now, I'm Rob King. Coming up tomorrow on 4 News Now at 6, Natalie Grant has a special report taking a look at some contamination concerns in Lake Coeur d'Alene. Here's a little bit more of that.
Is your favorite beach contaminated? For the first time in decades, Idaho is testing the sand and water where your kids play.
We're most concerned from a human health standpoint, lead and arsenic.
I'm Natalie Grant. I'll show you how the testing works, why it's happening now, and what it could reveal about hidden risks today and for years to come.
To know that they're checking it and keeping an eye on that kind of stuff, it does make me feel very safe.
Watch Thursday at 6 on 4 News Now.
And here to talk a little bit more about it is Natalie Grant. Natalie, let's just start with what are some of the concerns that were raised over at Lake Coeur d'Alene?
Yeah, hi Rob. Good morning. Thanks for having me. For people that I guess that aren't familiar with the history of Lake Coeur d'Alene and the runoff there, obviously we have a lot of mines in North Idaho over in the Silver Valley area. Back in the day, those mining practices weren't as clean. A lot of the runoff from those mines would go into the Coeur d'Alene River, which then, of course, flows into Lake Coeur d'Alene, flows into areas like the Spokane River. And while they're held to higher standards now, there's still quite a bit of contamination that are in those waterways, in our soils, in our beaches, things like that, of lead, arsenic, other contaminants from those mining practices that are still things that we need to be aware of today. So there are things that are in our water supply over there. This is not a new revolutionary thing. It's something that we're aware of here, but basically what I'm talking about in my special report is a new study. A study has not been done comprehensively in about 20 years on all of these. There's testing more than 30 beaches all around the lake area of Lake Coeur d'Alene and into the Spokane River a little bit, just to see where are levels at. They've been doing kind of individual testing over the last 20 years. Well, they'll do kind of spot testings in certain areas, but this is the first big comprehensive study that we've seen in this area in the last 20 years.
I guess, why did environmental officials decide this was the time to do a comprehensive study?
Yeah, so it comes after the recommendations from a 2022 recommendation from the Academy of Natural Sciences, and they basically said it's time with our changing climate to just see where things are at. They know that this is something that we haven't had big comprehensive data on in a while. So the study is funded by the Governor Brad Little. A little more than $800,000 is what it took to conduct this study here. And then the Idaho Department of Environmental Quality are the people that's putting it on. And yeah, so it's not like it's any big red flags came up, but it's something that we just need to keep an eye on with our lake as we're kind of seeing these evolving climates that we're living in right now.
Now, are there any expectations as to what they might find in the water, and is that going to change how people recreate in that area?
I mean, there's certainly always a possibility of when you're not doing testing some of these areas for 20 years, there's always a possibility that there could be big spikes in these contaminant levels. But based off of the research and based off of the experts that I talked to, they're not expecting any crazy dramatic changes in any of these beaches that would prompt kind of more further health safety concerns like you might see on the Coeur d'Alene River. There are some recreational beaches out that way that I've been told that you do have to just take a couple extra precautionary measures. You do have to make sure you're wiping off your hands, making sure that you're taking showers right after you're getting off out of the beach, out of the river area out there. And if that was the case, if you were on a beach, there would be signs posted letting you know that you should be kind of doing those extra hygiene practices. But they're not expecting any crazy results out of this, but it's always just a good idea to know where we're at when we are kind of living in these environments. A lot of the people I talk to that live out here say that this is kind of just a way of life. We understand that the mines are a part of life here out in North Idaho, and we have these contaminants in our waterways, and you just kind of learn to live with them and live with them safely and make decisions that are right for your family.
Well, it sounds like a very important study, and especially with summer right around the corner, people are going to be wanting to get into the water. Is there anything else you want to add before I let you go?
Yeah, so right now, this story is kind of just previewing these results. We're talking to these experts. We are talking about the study itself, learning how the study itself took place, kind of where they're gathering these samples from. But the results of this study are not expected till later this summer. Actually, it's specifically around August 27th is when we're expecting to get this data with a final report from this entire study out in 2026. So of course, we will let you know when those results come in, if there is anything unexpected that comes out of them, but we can expect those results a little later this summer.
All right, Natalie Grant, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And you can watch Natalie's special report on this testing that's occurring at Coeur d'Alene Lake. And you can see that tomorrow on 4 News Now at 6, which is Thursday. You can also watch the full thing online on KXLY Plus and KXLY.com following its completion. Thanks for watching. In studio, Rob King for 4 News Now.